What is going on YouTube? Joe here with Culination Media, and welcome back for some more live Pokemon Showdown. We're doing some more UU today with our Bandit Heracross Mega Swampert team. Can't even really say it's a Mega Swampert team. I have a Mega Swampert on the team, but it's not the focal point of the team. And in fact, it doesn't even put in a lot of work most of the time. Of course, now that I said that, it'll be the MVP of the next two parts of the session. But anyway, let's hope that we run into some more... how can I put this lightly, or say this in a nice way? Some nicer players who know what they're doing and aren't jerks. How about that? This guy seems pretty cool, though. He's got a pretty interesting team. Liking the Machamp, Doublade action going on. For Alligator's a threat. It's probably going to be Scarf Porygon-Z because like 99% of them on the UU ladder for some reason are. I'm not really sure why. No, I am sure why, because it's a good set, but I think the Double Dance set is just way scarier. But it all depends on the role that you need Porygon-Z to play on your team, so yeah, can't knock people using different sets. So we have Ditto versus Mega Swampert here. I'm just going to go for Earthquake. I figured he would not try to switch in his Electros, in case I did go for the Waterfall, but anything would have been a better play than Earthquake right there, I guess. Because he just gets a free switch, and he's gonna go for Giga Drain right here. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't think he is ballsy enough on turn 2 to go for the Volt Switch with a Ground type out. So he's most likely gonna go for the Giga Drain. I'm gonna use this opportunity to get a safe switch into my Heracross and hopefully bait out that Doublade to knock off its Eviolite. So that's the plan here. Knockoff will do a considerable amount of damage to any Pokemon that switches in. So if he wants to switch in his Ditto, it's gonna lose its Choice Scarf, which will be fantastic. And we should get some solid damage off on that. Doublade is going to take a decent chunk too and lose its Eviolite, which would be great. He actually leaves this thing in. Oh my goodness, I was not expecting him to leave it in just to Volt Switch. If I went for close combat, that thing was dead as anything. But he's going to get the safe switch into his Porygon-Z now. This thing outspeeds me regardless of whether it's Scarf or not, so I need a switch. I still didn't switch my Mandibuzz to specially defensive. I wanted it to be specially defensive, and for some reason, I guess just out of habit when I was building the team, I just made it physically defensive. Because, honestly, I think specially defensive Mandibuzz is overrated. Yeah, but it fits the team better because I don't have anything that likes to take special attacks, so... yeah, see, if I was specially defensive, I would take that a little bit better, but we do get burned, so this is going to be a 2-hit KO. There's really nothing I can do about it, which is unfortunate, because it does help me out against Doublade, but yeah, that's not going to be a thing. So Mandy just gets sacrificed, and that will allow me to get a safe switch into something. If he is Choice Scarf, I'm kind of in trouble here if I go into Galvantula, because I'm not Focus Sash. And if he's Scarf, he's probably Modest too, so Adaptability, Tri-Attack, yeah, that's probably just gonna kill me. Do I really think this thing is Scarfed? I mean, if I'm really worried about it, the safest play I can make is to go into Swampert and hope that I don't get frozen or burned here. I'm gonna go for Waterfall in case he does try to switch out his Electros, and he does not. He just stays into Tri-Attack, and Earthquake actually would have killed him there. Maybe I should have done that. Actually, you know what? That was the better play, too, because even if he did go into Electros there, I outspeed it, and I could have just Waterfalled it the turn after. So I took all that damage for no reason. That was not a good play on my part. I just clicked the button too fast and didn't think that all the way through. Sometimes that happens. You think you know what play you're supposed to make, and then right after you make it, you're like, you know what? That wasn't the most optimal thing I could have done. But I don't know what he's doing in here. I think he was trying to bait me to switch by going into for Alligator. But I just stayed in to go for Earthquake, so he switches in his Machamp, and it takes a ridiculous amount of damage, and we take it out with a Waterfall. He doesn't even bother going for Bullet Punch. It's possible that he didn't have it too. But regardless, he's going to go into his Ditto here, which will outspeed me most likely because of a Choice Scarf. So I can just click Stealth Rock or Earthquake. It doesn't really matter. Stealth Rock doesn't really help me against Doublade, so there's really no point. I guess I'll just click Earthquake, it hits everything, and like I said before, a little bit too late. Wait a minute. Why did I outspeed? Leftovers Ditto. Leftovers Ditto. Okay then, that is why I outsped. Fair enough, I suppose. Now, I could go into Heracross again and kill something. and just fire off a knockoff, he would most likely just sacrifice his Ditto because it's by far the most useless member on his team at this point, because it is weakened and it's not Scarf, so it doesn't outspeed anything. So I'm just gonna actually go into Galvantula because it takes on all of his team pretty much. I don't know that Feraligatr can kill me with an Aqua Jet from like pretty close to max health. So, and if he goes into his Doublade, I can hit that with a Thunder, and Doublade does not take special attacks very well. So even if it was specially defensive, I'm still going to get a lot of damage off on it, and that might allow me to finish up the game with Porygon-Z afterwards. So he is going to go out into his Feraligatr here. I could go for Giga Drain. I'm not positive if that would kill. Feraligatr doesn't have the best special defense, but I'm going to go for Thunder here. The only downside is that I could miss, and that's what I'm worried about. But with Compound Eyes, there's a very small chance that we're going to miss. So he's actually just going to forfeit there, as the game was pretty much over. With Feraligatr going down, he really had no answer to Galvantula. Galvantula has been putting in so much work in this session so far. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. So let's find another battle here. And we should be up near like 1500 on the ladder at this point. So we're getting to the higher end of the mid ladder, because the top of the UU ladder is, I think, hovering right above 1700, somewhere in that range. I'm not trying to like get to the top or anything. It's just I like to be anywhere from 13 to 1500 is an optimal range to record. Although the last couple of times I have been in that area, I've gotten worse matches than when I was at the very bottom. So it's kind of a strange dynamic, but he's got a very interesting team going on here. He's got some fatness in Rhyperior and Goodra, and even Tentacruel, another Ditto, and another Ditto lead. People really like to lead off with Ditto. So I still have to assume that this one is probably going to be Scarf, because like 99% of them are. He's actually going to make the switch right into his Mismagius as I go for the Earthquake. So again, not predicting them to want to predict the Earthquake turn 1, but they do. So I should have gone for Stealth Rock and at least force that Tentacruel in at some point. But I'm going to go right into my Mandibuzz, who unfortunately is going to get burned by the Will-O-Wisp. So that doesn't really tell me if this is defensive or not, because the offensive variants can still carry it. And he's actually sub. Okay. I mean, this thing can't really hurt me unless it's carrying something strange like Thunderbolt or Power Gem. And even then, I should be okay. So I'm just going to continually foul play here, as he's going to go into the Tentacruel, and that does not very much because I am burned, and, you know, it's a Tentacruel, so probably 0 IVs in attack anyway. But I did not want that Mismagius getting up a substitute for free, so that's why I didn't want to go for anything else there. Now, I could switch in my Heracross here on a potential Scald, and that's what I'm going to do. He really doesn't have anything that scares me, and if I can get a Guts boost, that would be fantastic. So he is going to go for the Toxic Spikes, and we'll see if he wants to predict an Earthquake here and go into his Mismagius. That's really risky. By far, my best play here is to just go for Knockoff, and if he does leave this in, I can get rid of its recovery, too. Well, you know what? I'm going to click Mega Horn. Oh, it's still... Alright, he stayed in. Never mind. I was really expecting him to want to switch there. I figured I would get a lot of damage off on something. Mega Horn should still be a 2-hit KO on the Mismagius anyway. But, yeah. So he stays in, and he knocks off my Choice Band, so I can just go for Knockoff anyway. So I was kind of hoping he was going to get the burn there. Because now I have to go for Mega Horn again. I guess I should have gone for Knockoff the first time. I really should have. But... yeah, I don't know what I was doing there. I don't know what I was doing, and he is going to be able to take that with 1%. He still doesn't get the burn because I want him to, so that means that it'll never happen. And at least we're going to get rid of this Tentacruel, so I can set up hazards now, and I don't have to worry about this thing spitting them away. And I also need to make sure that I get in my Mandibuzz to defog again, but he's actually going to let me do that because he goes right into his Mismagius. So he's gonna mystical fire. Okay, alrighty then, fair enough. But that's just gonna give me a safe switch into Mandibuzz, and I can, you know, get rid of things. I decided not to save Heracross at that point because it was such a low HP at that point. I mean, I guess I could outspeed Goodra and hit it for a lot of damage, and could dish out some damage to that Rhyperior too. But it's looking like Galvantula honestly might be able to bring this battle home for me. I just have to get a little bit of damage off on the Goodra, and then after that, I don't see him being able to come back from that. We will have to see. We will have to see. Yes. So he is just going for Mystical Fire, I guess, to lower my special attack. I have no idea why. I can Roost here. The more damage I get off on this, the better. So I don't really need Mana Buzz for anything. He's going to switch in his Rhyperior here. And, I mean, I guess I could just foul play this. I don't want it setting up like Swords Dance or something for free. So I do outspeed it, though, and he's just going to set up Stealth Rock. Okay. I guess I should have taunted you then. Can I make a decent play? I made like one decent play last episode, and today I'm just making all kinds of really bad plays. So he's going to just Dragon Tail me out. That's fine. And he's going to bring me out into Solomon here. The Mega... not Salamence. Not Salamence. That is not what a Salamence looks like. It is a Swampert. And now I can just click... I want to click Earthquake so bad. I don't think he's bringing in Mismagius here. No, he's bringing in Goodra. That takes a buttload of damage. He was really expecting a Waterfall there. I'm pretty sure Earthquake was going to kill that Rhyperior anyway. And even if it didn't, he didn't have anything to Oko me with. Now I can go for Waterfall in case he wants to get tricky and switch into Mismagius. Actually, he's just going to forfeit. Okay, so I finally started to get into a bit of a groove there and make some, you know, solid middle ground plays. And he forfeits. So we're going to move on and search for another battle because it's only been about 12 minutes. So we're getting into another one here. This looks like a very scary team. I see the Dragalge. If that thing is offensive, that is super scary, especially because I don't have anything that's especially defensive on this team. I have literally no switch-ins. Porygon-2, I hate Porygon-2 with the passion of 1,000 Burning Suns, but I do have a Heracross. So, yeah, and if that Dragalge is, in fact, offensive, it can only switch in a certain amount of times on, you know, close combats and Mega Horns and stuff from Heracross. So that is something. So he's actually going to lead off with the Dragalge as I'm leading off with Solomon again. Apparently this is like my dedicated lead. I'm going to click Ice Punch here in case he wants to predict the first turn Earthquake, because everybody seems to want to be doing that today. So I'm going to click Ice Punch and maybe catch that Salamence. If he stays in, it's still going to be super effective on this. So we should still, you know, be able to 2-hit KO it, and it'll be a good time. But I'm not expecting him to want to stay in here. Yeah, he's going to switch in Reuniclus, actually. That was most likely going to get 2-hit KO'd by Earthquake, or relatively close. I mean, he is leftovers. So I'm assuming by how much damage that took, it is like defensive Calm Mind. Which means I would love to get Galvantula in for free on it, but if he Psychics, that could be an issue. I mean, taking damage isn't a problem. He's probably got an Energy Ball, though. I'm assuming that's why he switched it in, figuring he can take an Earthquake and then Energy Ball me. So I have a lot of switch-ins to that. I've got, like, every member on my team, pretty much, that resists Energy Ball. He's actually going to go for Psyshock, which I guess is a decent middle ground play, although a relatively easy, safe switch-in for me would have been the Mana Buzz, but he still went for the Psyshock anyway. So I don't know about that. Do I want a Sticky Web? Probably not. I think I'm going to Thunder. He's not going to stay in here. He doesn't have any special defense boost, so he'll just get OHKO'd by Bug Buzz. He's going to switch in Salamence, maybe? Nope, he's going to stay in. Why would you stay in? We get the Paralysis, which is nice, and he's just going to kill me with a Psyshock. I don't understand that play, unless he just predicted me to over-predict there, or predict me, not necessarily to over-predict, but predict me to make a prediction there. There's really no reason for him to stay in, unless he really just felt like Reuniclus had no use on the team. But if it does have, like, Energy Ball or something, you know, that could have been very, very useful for the Swampert later on. But I guess that is that. Now, I could go into Heracross here and get a lot of damage off on something, but I still don't know what that Salamence is. It could be Intimidate for all I know. So I'm going to go back into my Mega Swampert here. I would love to click Stealth Rock, and at some point I do want to get Stealth Rock up, but I'm going to Earthquake this time. And he's just going to let his Reuniclus go down. So I guess he just didn't value it that much, because he played it very recklessly, left it in on a Galvantula, and then just let me come in and kill it afterwards. So I guess he doesn't think too highly of his Reuniclus. What can I say? He's going to go into his Feraligatr here. This outspeeds me, but it's going to take a buttload of damage from an Earthquake. So especially if he wants to Dragon Dance here, I'm fine with that. At +1, he can't kill me with Waterfall. He's going to need a flinch. So we'll see what he wants to do. Or this could be Special Gator. I will be very, very impressed if it is Special Gator. And also a little bit scared, because Special Gator is power. It is ridiculously good. It does not get enough credit. I have to use it again. I feel like I use it a lot, but I do have to use it again. So he's taking some time to think about his move here. Regardless, I am Earthquaking, because he just went into his Feraligatr. I don't expect him to want to switch Salamence in. He's being very careful about not switching that in, for whatever reason. Now, I guess saving this thing could be useful for, and by this thing I mean Swampert, for the Dragalge and the Cobalion, but I do have Heracross, which will OHKO the Cobalion, and Dragalge, I should be able to beat it with a combination of things. So yeah, he decides to just stay in and go for Waterfall. That looks like it could be a 2-hit KO based on if he gets a little bit of a higher damage roll next time. I don't know if I want to go with that. I don't want to sacrifice my Swampert here, so I will go out into Mandibuzz, because it actually is looking to be the most expendable member of my team. So even though I did let Swampert take all that damage, getting all that damage in return on the Feraligatr is very helpful. So what I can do here is just go for Foul Play. That should do a decent chunk to anything he wants to send out. He's just going to Ice Punch me. Please don't freeze. Thank you very much. And we get a meaningless critical hit on the Gator, which is now gone. That might have just been the biggest threat on his team. I mean, the Salamence is a huge threat as well, but Arcanine should be able to handle that relatively well. I mean, it carries Earthquake, but it's better than Stab Waterfalls with Sheer Force boosting it and everything. So I'm going to go and just go for the Roost here as he sets up Stealth Rock. I don't know why he's doing that on a Mandibuzz unless he expected me to want to switch. He could Volt Switch here if he wants to. I'm pretty tempted to just taunt, though, in case he wants to Volt Switch out into his either Porygon-Z or his Salamence, but he decides to just go for Close Combat. And even though he has to know I'm physically defensive, judging by how little Ice Punch did. But yeah, so I can survive another one, and he might want to switch because of his lower defenses here, I don't know. But regardless, I'm just going to get rid of those rocks. He can't set them up again because he is taunted. So we're in a good position, and Mandy's actually putting in more work than I expected her to. I was kind of just trying to sacrifice her there for a second. But yeah, that's fine too. So we get rid of those rocks, and I can Roost up here. If he wants to go for Close Combat again, I mean, he's just going to continually lower his defenses. He's going to go for Iron Head and instead try to get some hacks going on. Yeah, he's trying to get the flinches now. But I should be able to Foul Play him. I know it's going to give him a justified boost as he again tries to go for the Iron Head and does not get the hacks that he was hoping for. But the more I raise his attack, the more Foul Play also does, and he still can't kill me. So he's going to go for Swords Dance, which was not the right play to make, because you're just allowing me to kill you with Foul Play. I don't know why he did. I mean, it was a meaningless critical hit. What are you talking about? He's getting upset in the chat, but it probably would have killed, or it would have been really close to killing, because he went for Swords Dance. Like, I don't know why. Like, you were at +3 at that point because I already gave you a justified boost. So, oh yeah, forgot about that. Okay. Okay then, but Cobalion is out of the way, so that's cool beans. And we have Porygon-Z, which is honestly, that combined with Salamence is going to give me the most trouble, because if I bring out Heracross, he's just going to switch right into the freaking Salamence. So I'm going to taunt him to prevent him from recovering, and do I really need this Mandibuzz? I mean, I could Roost stall him a little bit here. I know I'm playing with freezes. I really don't need Mandibuzz at all. I really don't. He can't even kill me with another Ice Beam unless he gets a critical hit or like super duper high roll. I'm just going to foul play. Does 13%. I mean, that's something, at least. A little bit of prior damage. He does get a higher roll, but it still leaves me with 1%. So we get another turn to attack him here. I kind of want to roost so I can taunt him again, because I don't want him recovering. And the guy that just joined, I don't know why he joined, but now he's just putting sad faces in the chat. What is going on with these people in the chat? And that's really disgusting, too, that that Mandibuzz is taking these hits so well, because it's not specially defensive at all. It's just so stupidly bulky. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. It's not like Chansey or Blissey level, but, you know, it's stupid fat. So, he goes for the T-Wave there just because now he's going to rely on hacks, I'm assuming. I'm assuming that's what he's doing. There's really no other reason to T-Wave a Mandibuzz. But, yeah, we're going to be paralyzed and unable to move as he gets a tri-attack off. And he's going to Ice Beam me, and I'm going to be paralyzed the second time in a row. As somebody else is joining. Why are all these people joining my battles? I don't know. I wish there was a default setting to just ignore all spectators. Yeah, I mean, they're not saying a lot at the moment, so I don't know what I'm talking about. But, yeah. So, now that I know that he has Thunder Wave, I can't just go out into my Porygon-Z and try to set up, because I'm Life Orb and not Lumberry. Probably should change that to Lumberry, because it makes it easier to set up on things that like to T-Wave you. Yeah, if I go out into Porygon-Z here, he's just going to T-Wave me. So, there's really not much I can do about it. I'm going to go into Heracross here, and I'm so tempted to click Stone Edge, predicting him to go out into his Salamence, because that'll probably just kill it. But I feel like Knockoff is my better play, because he left in his Reuniclus in on a Galvantula, so I don't know how smart he's going to be playing this at this point. So I'm going to knock off because it hits everything. He does actually go into his Dragalge, not the Salamence. So we get rid of its Draco Plate, but another knockoff should kill it because that one did 69%. So it should do slightly less than that. And yeah, so Dragalge is gone. He just sacrifices that. And he's probably going to use this to go into Salamence. Yep, there he goes. So now, how do I want to handle this? I guess I have to make a hard switch into Arcanine here. I could predict him to want to Dragon Dance. But, yeah, and I guess if I knock off here, I could potentially remove like a Lumberry or something. But he might not even be a Dragon Dance set because he has Intimidate and not Moxie. So I don't know what to think. I haven't seen this Salamence at all. I'm surprised. He just has not wanted to switch it in. So he was saving it for the end. But we're going to go right into Frank here because Frank should be able to handle this as he goes for Fire Blast, actually. And that does a decent amount of damage. So I wonder if this is specially offensive Salamence. Which, if it is fully special, that's really, really cool. And it also might have Hydro Pump and just kill me right here. But I can't make a prediction based off of that. I'm just going to go for Will-O-Wisp because that's my best play. He's actually going to switch in his Porygon 2, so at least we get some residual damage going on that, which is very, very nice. He's going to go for T-Wave here because he just is. That's the type of player he is. He just T-Waves everything, even though it's clearly defensive. Yep, that's what he does. So we get the safe switch into Solomon here. And Earthquake plus Burn might kill it. But I think I want to take this opportunity to set up Stealth Rocks, get some more damage off on that Salamence, and not allow him to just switch back and forth, as he is going to get a free recover off. But, yeah, not too much I can do about that. I don't think Earthquake would have killed anyway. So, yeah, there's that. Now I will Waterfall. You want to play the Hacks game? We can see if, wow, that only does 29%. Please don't get a burn. He's going to get the paralysis. Alright, just kill me, and then we can finish this battle at that point. He's just going to recover. Okay, I know what he's doing. He's banking on the paralysis now. He's just going to continually recover until I get fully paralyzed so he can be at as much HP as possible. Yeah, you're just the amazing plays right there. The amazing plays. There we go. Oh, I thought he was... I really wanted him to finish me off there. But we survive. And so does he with 5%. I want to click Ice Punch so bad. No, why would he switch out? That makes no sense. What am I talking about? That makes absolutely no sense. If he switches out, Porygon-2 dies when it comes back in. So I'm just going to click Earthquake. He's not switching out, and if he does, I win. So yeah, he's just going to recover again. And I don't know what's going on in the chat. I'm really... the guy that joined is like upset about something, some play that he made. I don't really know. I wasn't paying attention. So I'm just going to Earthquake again. He's just continually recovering. Come on, man. Just finish me off. I'm not going to let you get an attack off. He's just doing this hoping that I get paralyzed. Like, that's all he's doing at this point. Just kill me, please. No, stop recovering. Just kill me. Oh my god, this is going to go on forever. To be fair, I don't know how I haven't gotten fully paralyzed yet. Like, this is going on quite a bit longer than expected. I mean, I could... No, I can't Waterfall because he outspeeds me because I'm paralyzed, so I can't even, like, try to get some hacks of my own going. Well, that other guy left because I guess he was just upset about it. I don't know. I don't know what he's upset about. I didn't even really pay attention. Somehow, we still are doing this. Unfortunately, we were fully paralyzed there, so he was able to get back up to near full health. We do get a critical hit, though, which does help our cause a little bit. It would have been nice if we got a critical hit a little bit earlier, because that would have sealed the deal on the match, pretty much. But, please just kill me. Just click Try Attack. It's not that hard. You're not going to get up to, like, max HP. I don't know what you're expecting. You're, like, banking on double paras or something? Because you got the full paralysis and then still clicked Recover the next turn. The only way it can win. Sorry, man. I guess. I guess. You got to do what you got to do. He doesn't know that I'm recording or anything, that this is boring. But I'm just getting salty for no reason. Probably just because I hate Porygon-2. That's what it comes down to, I guess. I don't know. But we'll give him a thank you for taking out Solomon. Finally, Swampert goes down. We need to be careful here to not get swept by that Salamence, because it could still be Dragon Dance, even though it has Intimidate. That could just be a way of it allowing itself to be able to set up a little bit more. I don't really know. I guess I have to go out into Porygon-Z here, because if I go out into Heracross, he's going to outspeed me with Salamence and just kill me with a Fire Blast. So I at least want to force him to kill something. So I'll go out into Porygon-Z. It doesn't outspeed Salamence anyway. I can't get up in Agility, so it doesn't really matter. I have to sacrifice something to allow myself to go into Frank and really hope that he is not like bulky Dragon Dance with Roost, because if he is, I think I just lose at that point. So we'll have to see what happens here. So he's just going to leave his Porygon-2 in, obviously. That was his only play. So Zed picks up the kill there with the Try Attack, and he's going to see that I'm Life Orb. Not that that really means anything. I mean, that could mean that he's scared of Ice Beam, and he might forfeit, but at this point, you've come this far. I don't think he's going to forfeit. Just click Try Attack, I guess, and see what he goes for. Outrage, maybe, if he has it. I mean, he could be specially offensive. It looks like he is special, because he just goes for Fire Blast. And Try Attack just completely demolishes what was left of the Salamence, so that is going to be the battle. So we get the victory there, and it's been almost a half an hour, so I think we will call it quits here. We got up to, what are we, 1503 on the ladder. Okay, well, that's respectable. We got up to 1500, which is what I was hoping for. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part. We got one more coming up. If you did enjoy, make sure that you were leaving a like rating or a comment, or whatever you would like to do, of course, and I will see you all next time. But until then, game on.